Hello, and welcome to another episode of Breadcast Gaming Talk. Years ago, I played games on PlayStation 3, and one of the series I really enjoyed was the Uncharted games. But after going to Xbox 360 and then now to PC, which I've stayed on for many a year, I've never really played any games on the level of Uncharted. That is until now, after watching a YouTuber play it, I decided to try the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider. Now, I'm not going to discuss the story because I pretty much just skipped all of the cutscenes that I could because I didn't really care that much since I was doing a playthrough with commentary. But this, as well as the sequels, are supposed to provide the origins of Lara Croft, so that's as much story as I have for you. To be honest, I wish they told this story in a little bit of a different way, or a way that involves less cutscenes, because there's so many cutscenes and it gets annoying with how many times they take control away from the player, too much in favor of being more cinematic. Now, that's not usually a negative thing I give out to a game, but there's a point where there is too much taking control away from the player, and when it gets to be just really annoying, and Tomb Raider does it a lot. The combat in the game is just alright. The bow and arrow feels really good actually, and seem like the weapon that the developers want you to use most of the time, but the guns just feel, I don't know, they feel off. They don't feel as good as the bow and arrow does. The bow also has other functions like fire arrows, a rope arrow, and something, I forget what it was called, that lets you pull heavy objects. The only thing about the combat and the weapons is that I feel like Lara just needs like a dedicated knife or machete, because there's enemies that like to get up close and personal, and having a quick melee would be really nice. You do collect scrap as you play the game. This allows you to upgrade your weapons. You also earn XP for doing things and killing guys, and this allows you to get skill points to upgrade Lara. To do all these things, you have to go to a campfire, which is also the perfect time to save your game. The game reminds me of Uncharted games in two ways. First of all is the climbing, which you do a lot and works very well. The second is the escape sequences, but Tomb Raider adds a level of annoyance and frustration by adding quick time events that actually killed me more times than the actual bad guys did. The worst was actually in the beginning of the game. The first QTE just pops up as like a red hand icon, and nowhere on screen does it tell me what the hell I'm supposed to be pressing. There's nothing. And, as a first-time player of Tomb Raider, I don't like that, It was not until a bit later in the beginning of the game where then a red exclamation point pops up on screen too as another QTE with no explanation as to what I'm supposed to be pressing. I died 3 times in the beginning of the game before I went into settings to see what keys to press, and it's more frustrating that after those first 2 QTEs in the beginning of the game, that then the game decides to tell you that you're supposed to be pressing E and F, which is so stupid to do. Now, the last part of this talk are about the tombs, because it's not a Tomb Raider game without tombs, right? Now, look, you're here listening to this video for my opinion on this game, and that's what I'm here to deliver on to you, so you can form an opinion if the game is for you. Personally, I absolutely hate the tombs. Now, you don't have to do them. They are completely optional, but they do contain upgrades for weapons, so I did them when I came across them. I did not do all of them. I think I only did like 3 of them. I am not a puzzle person, but if I can look at a puzzle and be able to easily piece together exactly what I must do, then it's a good puzzle. And yes, I know that knowing what to do and executing what to do are 2 different things, but if I can figure it out, then it's fine. The tombs in this game do the opposite of that. Every time I walked into a puzzle in a tomb, I'd look around, walk around, interact with nearby objects, and I would never get any sense of what to do, and then I would just end up watching a how-to video on YouTube. That, to me, is not good puzzle design, and that's coming from a person who A, doesn't really do puzzles, but B, knows Portal 2 like the back of their hand. But if you like that kind of aspect of puzzles in games, more power to you. So yeah, my only real three negatives of this game are that there's too many cutscenes, that you will die more often than not from QTEs than actual enemies, and that the tombs are on the difficult side to me. Otherwise, the game is pretty fun. I still have not decided if I'm going to play the sequels, but I would wait regardless until they're on sale if I was going to buy them anyway. Tomb Raider 2013 is a good and enjoyable game. That's all I have to say, so if you like what you see in here, feel free to subscribe. If you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.